I never thought I'd swing a sledgehammer at a multimillion-dollar CEO's ego, but there I was, mid-swing, the satisfying crack of splintering plywood echoing like a gunshot in our quiet cul-de-sac. Blood rushed to my ears as her screams pierced the air. "You can't do this. I'll sue you into oblivion." But I just grinned, because after what she'd pulled, oblivion was exactly where she deserved to be headed. It all started with a single, unauthorized nail hammered into my property line. But by the time the dust settled, that shed wasn't the only thing coming down. Her whole entitled empire was crumbling right alongside it. You know those neighborhoods where the lawns are greener than envy and the fences are higher than the egos? Welcome to Willow Creek Estates, the kind of upscale suburb outside Atlanta where tech bros and corporate climbers like me pretend we're all in this together. But really, it's every McMansion for itself. I'm Jake Harlan, 38, divorced, and the lead software engineer at a fintech startup that's finally turning heads in Silicon Beach. My life was scripted like a bad rom-com. Wake up at 6 a.m. to the hum of my espresso machine, jog 3 miles past identical colonials with their Tesla chargers glowing like neon status symbols, then code until my eyes blurred. Solid, predictable, until Karen Voss moved in next door 6 months ago. Karen wasn't just a neighbor. She was a force of nature wrapped in Lululemon and weaponized passive aggression. CEO of Voss Dynamics, some AI consulting firm raking in venture capital like it was loose change. Mid-40s bottle blonde bob that screamed, "I charge by the hour," and a laugh like shattered glass. She rolled up in a black Escalade one rainy Tuesday, flanked by movers hauling minimalist furniture that probably cost more than my annual salary. I waved from my porch, offering the standard Southern, "Hey, welcome to the neighborhood," with a 6-pack of craft IPAs. It's the Atlanta way, even if you're nursing a fresh divorce hangover. She took one look at the beers, her Botox-frozen smile twitching like she'd been offered moonshine. "Oh, how quaint. I'm more of a rose girl, but thanks." Quaint. That word stuck in my craw like a fishbone. But I let it slide. New neighbors get a grace period. Or so I thought. It began innocently enough, or as innocent as Karen's schemes ever got. 2 weeks in, I noticed surveyors on the shared green space between our lots. Willow Creek has this community easement, a narrow strip of land meant for footpaths and flower beds. Not. Whatever the hell she was planning. I wandered over during my lunch break, still in my hoodie and cargo shorts, coffee in hand. "Afternoon, folks. What's the project?" The head guy, a burly dude with a clipboard and a Georgia drawl thick as molasses, glanced up. "Ma'am, next door's putting in a she shed. Home office extension. Permits are all squared away." She shed? Of course. Because why teleconference from your actual office when you can encroach on communal turf? I nodded politely, but inside my spidey sense tingled. "Mind if I see the plans?" "Just curious. I'm on the HOA board." That was my ace in the hole. Yeah, me, the quiet coder, elected to the Willow Creek Homeowners Association because no one else wanted the headache. It was mostly rubber stamping pool schedules and mediating dog bark disputes, but it came with teeth, enforcement powers that could bite if you swung them right. The surveyor handed over a rolled blueprint, and there it was, a sleek 12 by 16-foot structure, all reclaimed barnwood and solar panels, plunked smack on the easement line. Technically my side by 2 feet, according to the plat map I'd memorized after buying the place. "This crosses the boundary," I said, tapping the paper. "Easements for shared use, not private builds." He shrugged. "Her engineers stamped it. Says it's collaborative space, maybe a yoga studio for the block or something." Collaborative. Yoga studio. I almost choked on my coffee. Karen Voss, downward dogging with the rest of us plebs? Yeah, right. But I played nice, thanked them, and fired off an email to the HOA president, my buddy Mike from down the street. "Heads up, new neighbors eyeing the green space. Let's chat at Thursday's meeting." By evening, Karen was at my door, takeout tie in hand like we'd been besties since sorority rush. "Jake, right? Thought we'd break the ice. Pad C, EU, extra egg, just how I like it." Her eyes sparkled with that corporate gleam, the one that said I've closed deals bigger than your mortgage. We sat on my Adirondack chairs, the scent of lemongrass cutting through the humid dusk. Small talk flowed. Her flight in from San Francisco, my ex's latest Instagram flex from Charleston. Then, inevitable as a software bug, she pivoted. So, about that little project next door. Isn't it fabulous? I'm turning the easement into a community hub, a she shed for all of us. Wine nights, book clubs, you name it. I forked a noodle, chewing slow. Sounds ambitious, but the plans show it dipping onto my lot. Easement's public, sure, but property lines are sacred around here. Her fork paused midair, that smile hardening into a rictus. Oh, honey, it's negligible. 2 feet? We'll landscape it pretty. Hostas, maybe some fairy lights. Think of the property value boost for everyone. Negligible. Boost. Classic Karen calculus. Her gain, our tolerance. I set my plate down. Appreciate the vision, Karen, but rules are rules. I'll need to run it by the board. The air shifted, her laugh tinkling like wind chimes in a hurricane. Bored? You're on it, aren't you? Come on, Jake. Live a little. We're adults. Can't we just agree? There it was, the velvet glove over the iron fist. But I'm no pushover. I've debugged code at 3 a.m. while the world burned. Gotta follow protocol. Fair's fair. She stood, plates clattering. Protocol. How pedestrian. And with that, she sashayed back to her fortress, leaving me with lukewarm tie and a knot in my gut. The HOA meeting was a circus from jump. Mike's garage, folding chairs in a semicircle, the smell of stale donuts hanging heavy. 8 of us, retirees griping about leaf blowers, young families eyeing the budget for a new playground. I laid out the blueprints on the ping-pong table, explaining the overlap. It's not just my yard, it's precedent. If she builds, next it'll be trampolines and hot tubs on every strip. Murmurs rippled. Old Mrs. Hargrove, queen of the Quilt Guild, clutched her pearls. A she shed? On our green space? I won't have it looking like a hoarder's alley. Enter Karen, fashionably late in heels that clicked like Judgment Day. She'd clearly done her recon, knew every face, every grudge. Evening neighbors. Jake's got this all wrong. It's a shared asset. I've even budgeted for amenities. Artisanal coffee bar, perhaps a meditation corner. We're elevating Willow Creek. Elevating. Like we were some backwater needing her Silicon Valley salvation. The room buzzed. Young Dad Tim, the one with the twins and the hybrid minivan, leaned in. Coffee bar sounds dope, but does it come with permits? Karen waved a manicured hand. Permits are boring details. My firm's handled multi-million builds. This is child's play. Child's play. That's when the backlash brewed. I projected the plat map on Mike's ancient laptop, the red line glaring like a stop sign. City code's clear. Easements can't be privatized without unanimous consent. That's us. Her eyes narrowed, that CEO, steel glinting. Unanimous? That's archaic. Jake, you're blocking progress because... What? Divorce blues making you petty? The room gasped. Tim's jaw dropped. Mrs. Hargrove fanned herself. I'd mentioned the split in passing once, over block party burgers, but weaponizing it? Low blow. Even for HOA drama. Heat flushed my neck. This ain't personal, Karen. It's principle. Principle, she scoffed, standing tall. Or resentment. A man in his 30s, alone, clinging to blades of grass like it's his ex-wife. Snickers from the back. Mostly her new allies, the flippers who'd bought in last year and owed her intros to Atlanta's VC scene. But the tide turned quick. Mike banged his gavel, a repurposed croquet mallet. Enough. Motion to deny. All in favor. Eyes drowned her nay. 7-1. Her lone vote, defiant as a middle finger. She stormed out, heels echoing fury, muttering about lawyers and liens. That should have been the end. Denial letter mailed, project halted. But Karen Voss didn't do end. She did escalation. Next morning, 7 a.m. sharp, the hammering started. Bang, 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 like a migraine in stereo. I bolted upright in bed, sheets tangled, heart pounding. Peeking through blinds, there she was, hard hats swarming the easement, lumber stacking like Jenga on steroids. The shed was rising, phoenix from bureaucratic ashes, 2 feet onto my turf. I threw on jeans and a tee, stormed out barefoot. Karen, What the hell? We voted no. She turned from her perch on a sawhorse, hard hat perched like a crown, clipboard in hand. Oh, Jake. Morning glory. The board's advisory. City approved my variance. Check your email. Variance? Bull. I yanked my phone. Nothing. But her crew kept pounding, stakes driven deep into my sod. This is trespassing. I'll call the cops. Her laugh was pure venom. Do it. Officer Friendly loves a good neighbor spat. Meanwhile, my she sheds destiny. Destiny. The word ignited something primal. I could have lawyered up, but that plays to her arena. Billable hours, depositions till dawn. No, this called for Harlan justice. Swift, satisfying, and screenshot ready for the neighborhood Facebook group. By noon, I'd rally the troops. Tim with his drone for aerial proof. Mrs. Hargrove circulating a petition titled Save Our Sod. Mike drafting a cease and desist with his cousin, the paralegal. But the real fun? The viral angle. Willow Creek's group chat exploded. Karen shed saga. Who's with me? Emojis flew, fists, flames, popcorn buckets. Karen countered hard. Her firm's PR machine spun it as community innovation stifled by small-minded locals. She posted renderings on Nextdoor, glossy mocks of yoga mamas and wine moms toasting in her hub. Comments poured in, some sucking up, genius, Karen. Others savage, stick to spreadsheets, not surveys. I dropped the plat map screenshot, captioned, shared space? Try stolen space. HOA drama Karen who? The backlash snowballed. Local news sniffed it out. A plucky reporter from WSB-TV, hungry for suburban scandal. Tech Titan versus Tech Tinkerer. Is your backyard next? They interviewed me on my porch, sledgehammer propped casual-like against the rail. It's not about the shed, I said, channeling every underdog flick I'd binged. It's about bullies in boardrooms thinking lawns are playgrounds. Karen's on-camera rebuttal? Gold. Filmed from her sunroom. All sleek whites and succulents. This man is harassing a single woman achieving her dreams. Shared space means sharing, not hoarding. Single woman. Dreams. The comments section detonated. Justice for Jake trended locally, with memes of her face on entitled cat ladies. Her stock dipped, Voss Dynamics investors whispering about optics. But she doubled down, filing a frivolous counterclaim for emotional distress, claiming my intimidation tanked her Q3 projections. Emotional distress? From a shed? That's when the betrayal hit home. See, I trusted the system. HOA, neighbors, even a sliver of goodwill. But Karen? She was the glitch, rewriting code to suit her runtime. And me? The debugger, ready to crash her party. The night before the hearing, I couldn't sleep. Pacing my kitchen, the island scarred from divorce-fueled carving sessions, I plotted. Not violence. Nah, that's her chaos. Revenge, Harlan style, expose the rot. A quick deep dive on LinkedIn, and boom, her firm's innovations included shady subcontractor deals, whispers of permit padding from her Cali days. Nothing ironclad, but enough to nudge the right ears. Dawn broke muggy, the air thick with cicada hum. Court was small claims, a fluorescent lit box in the county annex. The judge a no-nonsense ex-Marine with a buzz cut and a Braves mug. Karen arrived in power armor, pencil skirt, pearl choker, lawyer in tow, a slick millennial billing $500 per hour. I went solo, in khakis and a button-down, plat map rolled under arm like Excalibur. Your Honor, this isn't a spat. It's encroachment. Here's the survey, the denial, the photos of stakes in my soil. Her lawyer droned. Variances, good faith errors, my campaign of harassment via social media. Karen took the stand, voice quivering just so. He's turned my home into a battlefield, sir. All I wanted was community. Community. The word hung, mocking. Then my turn. I unrolled the big map, pointed to the red line. Ma'am's community stops where my deed starts. And as for harassment, that's her PR spin. Neighbors, ask your own questions. The judge allowed it, public forum and all. Tim testified via Zoom, drone footage looping the overlap. Mrs. Hargrove, Pearl's A clutch, read the petition, 47 signatures, including the mayor's cousin. We won't let one woman's whims wilt our willows. Snorts from the gallery. Karen's face? Thundercloud. Cross-exam. Her lawyer grilled me. Mr. Harlan, isn't this personal? You're recent. Life changes. Divorce dig again. I leaned in, mic catching every syllable. Personal? Sure. But so's coming home to find your sanctuary staked like a vampire's grave. This is property, Your Honor, tangible, taxable mine. The gavel cracked like thunder. Ms. Voss dismantled forthwith. Trespass affirmed. Mr. Harlan, countersuit dismissed, frivolous. And ma'am, next time, read the fine print before you build your empire on borrowed dirt. She erupted, lurching forward, finger jabbing air. This is outrageous. I'll appeal. You have no idea who I am. The bailiff tensed, but the judge's glare could curdle milk. I know exactly who you are, Ms. Voss. A litigant who's just lost. Court adjourned. Outside, press swarmed. Cameras flashing like paparazzi at a premiere. Karen shoved through, tears streaking mascara, snarling in her phone. Give me the board. Heads will roll. I waved, all Southern charm. Just another day in paradise, folks. But paradise? Nah, it was payback, pure and pixelated. By evening, Shedgate was everywhere. Reddit's r/mth asshole crowned me hero. TikTok's remixed her outburst to clown music. Voss Dynamics stock wobbled. Investors bailing like rats from a glitchy ship. Karen's endgame? Bitter as black coffee. She dismantled overnight, crew hauling planks under floodlights. Her silhouette a shadow puppet of defeat. No yoga mamas, no wine nights, just a scarred easement and a for sale sign stabbed at her lawn by week's end. Whispers said she fled to Buckhead condos, tail between Lululemon legs, her hub, reduced to kindling for my next bonfire. Me? I reseeded the strip, planted wildflowers that gnawed in the breeze. Neighbors dropped by now, real ones with coolers and stories, not schemes. And that sledgehammer? Hung in the garage, trophy from the war I didn't start but damn sure finished. But here's the twist that keeps me up some nights. Was it justice or just my own brand of Karen? Entitlement's a virus, after all. Catch it once. And who's to say you shake it clean? Nah, Willow Creek's fine. For now. The wildflowers bloomed defiant that summer. A riot of coneflowers and black-eyed Susans reclaiming the easement like nature's middle finger to corporate overreach. I'd sip my morning brew on the porch, watching bees drunk on pollen, and think, this is what winning feels like. No more hammers at dawn, no more passive-aggressive waves over the fence. Karen's house sat empty for weeks, the sold sign a ghost in the heat haze, before a young couple from Chattanooga moved in. Folks with a labradoodle named Gus and zero interest in she-sheds. They brought pie on move-in day, apple with cheddar crust, and we laughed about that whole drama like it was ancient HOA lore. Life normalized, or as normal as it gets when your viral villain moment lands you a podcast invite. Suburban Showdowns, they called it, some indie audio outfit out of Austin, hungry for tales of everyday Armageddon. I recorded from my home office, the one not built on borrowed land, spinning the yarn with just enough spice to keep listeners hooked. And then, bam, gavel drops, and she's screaming like I stole her soul. Listeners ate it up, download spiked, and suddenly, Jake Harlan wasn't just the guy next door. He was the everyman Avenger. But normalcy's a fragile code, buggy under stress. 2 months post-ruling, my inbox pinged with an unmarked sender. k.voss@dynamicinnovate.com. Heart skipped. Delete, block, done. Except curiosity's a cat killer, and I clicked. Jake, you think you've won? This isn't over. My lawyers are reviewing defamation angles. Your little media circus cost me 3 clients. Enjoy your flowers while they last. Willow Creek will remember. Karen, chills, not the fun kind. Defamation? I'd stuck to facts. Surveys, votes, court docs. But her threat lingered. A dark mode overlay on my sunny routine. I forwarded it to Mike, backup, for the board file, and tried to shrug it off. Work ramped up anyway. Our startup's big pitch to Delta Ventures loomed, the kind of deal that could bankroll a beach house or bury me in ramen noodles if it flopped. Then the glitches started, subtle at first. My Tesla's app glitching, locking me out mid-commute on I-85, horns blaring like an orchestra of rage. Coincidence? Maybe. But when my LinkedIn blew up with fake reviews, unethical engineer sabotages colleagues, signed by burner accounts tracing to SFIPs. Nah, Karen's digital fingerprints, smudged but unmistakable. I hit back smart. Hired a freelance PI, a no-frills ex-cop named Rita with a Rolodex of cyber sleuths. $500 later, bingo, her firm's IT log showed research queries on my name, timestamps matching the trolls. Armed with screenshots, I filed a restraining order, cyberstalking variant, the judge a different one this time, but equally unimpressed by C-suite tears. Hearing was virtual, me in sweats, her on a yacht docked in the Keys, feed lagging like her karma. Ms. Voss, this crosses from competition to coercion, the judge drawled, Southern patience fraying. Cease contact, or face fines that make your bonuses look like pocket change. She logged off mid-ruling, feed cutting to black. Victory lap? Hardly. That night, sirens wailed down our street. Cops at our old place, now the Chattanoogans. False alarm. Tripped alarm from a raccoon in the attic, but the timing? Too neat. Paranoia set in, the kind that has you triple-checking door cams. Tim noticed over fence beers one Friday. Dude, you're jumping in shadows. She's gone. Let it go. Easy for him. His world's twins and T-ball, not troll farms. But I couldn't. Betrayal's a slow burn, charring trust from the inside. Karen hadn't just built a shed. She'd excavated my peace, leaving craters where complacency used to sit. The real gut punch dropped mid-October, leaves turning crimson like warning flares. Delta Ventures pitch, boardroom in Midtown, skyline views that scream success. I nailed the demo. Our app's AI fraud detection purring like a well-oiled V8, projections soaring to 7 figures. Handshakes all around, the CEOs were in, pending diligence, feeling like confetti. Diligence. That's when the bomb detonated. Monday morning, email from their GC. Concerns raised candidates' ethics. Social media flags, anonymous tips on neighbor disputes escalating to harassment. Need clarification. Anonymous tips. Ethics flags. My stomach plummeted. Screenshots attached. Twisted clips from the podcast. Her courtroom freakout edited to make me the aggressor. Caption screaming unhinged Atlanta techie terrorizes CEO. Posted to Glassdoor. Indeed, even our startup's competitor forums. Footprint? Voss Dynamics Marketing VPN. Rage boiled, hot and hydrochloric. I called Rita. Trace it. Now. She did. One better. The tips routed through a shell LLC. But the signatory? Karen's summer intern, a wide-eyed poli-sci kid from Emory, spilling in a follow-up chat. She said it was just balancing the narrative. Paid me $2,000. I didn't know it'd tank a job. Kid's remorse fueled my fire. Armed with affidavits, I marched to my CEO's office. Open plan loft in Buckhead, ping-pong tables mocking my mood. Boss, this is sabotage. Ex-neighbor with a grudge. Proof incoming. He leaned back, fingers steepled. Jake, you're gold. Code's tight. Team's loyal. But optics? Investors spook easy. Delta's waffling. We can't risk the deal on. Lawn wars. Lawn wars. My life's work reduced to sod squabbles. It's not. I know. He sighed, the weight of payrolls in his eyes. Take a beat. Paid leave. Figure this shit out. We'll pivot if needed. Pivoted. Like I was a buggy feature, shell for the next sprint. I drove home in silence. 75 on 85, rain sheeting the windshield like tears I wouldn't shed. Willow Creek blurred past, manicured, mocking. Gus the labradoodle yipped from the fence. I waved numb. That night, I cracked a bourbon, Maker's Mark neat, and scrolled her empire's downfall. Voss Dynamics latest. Board resignations. SEC whispers on those subcontractor irregularities I'd anonymously tipped months back. Karma's boomerang, arcing slow but sure. But bitter? Yeah. Her chaos had infected me, turning Avenger into victim, trust into tripwires. Revenge round 2 brewed in the amber glow. No sledgehammers this time, scalpel strikes. I lawyered up proper, a shark from Decatur named Lena, who ate Karen's for brunch. Cease and desist on steroids, she grinned, filing for defamation, tortious interference, the works. Damages? Her 3 lost clients, my jeopardized deal, emotional toll tallied like line items. Service was poetic. Process server at her Buckhead penthouse. Mid-brunch with VCs. Photos leaked, courtesy of Rita's network, showing Karen in silk pajamas, sputtering over mimosas. Penthouse pawn trended, her brand a punchline, from she-shed to shit show. She lawyered harder, countersuits flying like confetti at a funeral. Mediation loomed, neutral ground in a Peachtree conference room, all glass and tension. I arrived early, Lena at my side, armed with binders thicker than my ex's grudge. Karen swept in late, entourage in tow, lawyer, publicist, even a wellness coach clutching essential oils. She looked diminished. No bob armor. Hair limp, eyes puffy sans concealer. "Jake," she hissed before seats settled. "This ends now, or I bury you." Lena smirked. Threats on record? Bold. The mediator, a graying mediator with a mediator's patience, cleared his throat. "Ladies, gentlemen, focus. Ms. Voss, your actions post-ruling. Explain." She launched. Grievances stacked like Jenga. My smear campaign, the podcast, the libel, even blaming me for her firm's hiccup with investors. He's a stalker in coder's clothing. Turned my fresh start into a farce. Fresh start. The word stung, mirrored to my own post-divorce scramble. But Lena pounced. "Stalker? Per your own emails, Ms. Voss. And these timestamps, IP traces, the intern's sworn statement projected large. This is interference, plain. Mr. Harlan's deal? Nearly DOA because of your narrative balance." Karen's wellness coach dabbed her temples. The publicist typed furiously. Her lawyer blustered. Circumstantial. Enthusiastic in turn. Overzealous PI. Overzealous. I interjected, voice steady for the first time in months. "You built on my land, ignored the vote, then torched my career when the gavel-gaveled. That's not narrative. That's napalm." Silence, thick as fog. The mediator steepled fingers. "Ms. Voss, the evidence leans. Unfavorable. Settlement." Her jaw clenched. Empires crumbling in real time. "Fine. Withdrawal of all claims. Public retraction. And a beat, oil slick smile cracking. Apology. Off record." "On record," Lena snapped. "Or we dance in discovery. Those SEC filings look juicy." Defeat etched her face, fine lines deepening. "Apology. Whatever." We hammered terms. $150,000. Enough to cushion my leave, seed a side hustle. Her statement to press. "Misunderstandings resolved amicably. I wish Mr. Harlan well. No more contact. NDA sealing the scars." Signing, her pen scratched like claws on chalkboard. Eyes met mine, not triumphant, not broken. "Hello. You got your pound of flesh, Harlan. Happy. Flesh." The word echoed, biblical and brutal. "Happiness? Nah, just even." She left first, heels clicking defeat down the hall. I lingered, rain pattering windows, Atlanta's pulse thrumming below. Even? Maybe. But the craters remained, trust eroded, career detoured. Willow Creek waited, wildflowers wilting in fall's first frost. Back home, I poured another Maker's, texted Tim, "It's over." "Beers?" His reply, "Hell yeah." Gus misses his uncle. Small wins. But as night deepened, laptop glowing, I eyed that podcast invite backlog. Time to spin a new yarn. Not victim, not villain. Survivor. With a twist, forgiveness as the ultimate hack. Or was it Karen's hollow eyes haunted, a reminder? Revenge's code is recursive, looping back on the coder. I dismantled her shed, her schemes, but at what compile cost? Winter clamped down on Willow Creek like a bad commit. Freezing lines, delaying updates, everything sluggish under gray skies. My paid leave stretched, a limbo of LinkedIn lurking and half-baked app ideas sketched on napkins. The $150,000 burned a hole in my savings, tempting side quests, that food truck concept for fusion barbecue, or finally finishing the novel I'd shelved since college. But inertia's a beast. Mornings blurred into Netflix binges, The Office reruns mocking my own workplace woes. Delta deal? Salvaged barely. My CEO looped back post-mediation, Karen's retraction hitting their inboxes like holy water on vampires. All good, Jake. Optics cleared, welcome back. But the glow dimmed. Whispers lingered, colleagues side-eyeing my drama. Promotions? On hold. The invisible tax of viral infamy. Karen vanished from the grid. No Instaflexes, no Nextdoor sermons. Rita's updates. Penthouse sold a loss. Voss Dynamics rebranded to Voss Ventures. Her title downgraded to principal consultant. Schadenfreude is sweet, but cloying, like too much pecan pie at Thanksgiving. I pictured her in some sterile WeWork, pitching to skeptics, that hollow stare permanent now. Spring thawed the freeze, literally and figuratively. Wildflowers pushed through mulch, defiant greens against mud. I threw myself into HOA duties, channeling grudge into good. Easement revamp, a proper path with benches and birdhouses dubbed Harlan's Haven by Mrs. Hargrove's petition fever. Neighbors chipped in. Tim's landscaping hookup, Mike's grill for the ribbon-cut barbecue. Even the Chattanoogan's bake cobbler, Gus fetching sticks like a diplomat. The bash was peak suburbia. Kiddie pool splashing, cornhole tournaments, craft brews flowing from my kegerator. I manned the grill, flipping burgers with the precision of a sysadmin, sweat beading under Atlanta's early scorch. Laughter echoed, a balm on old wounds. Then my phone buzzed, unknown number, Atlanta area. Jake Harlan? This is Elena from Channel 2 News. Quick follow-up on that shed story. We're doing a 6-month anniversary segment. Where are they now? Anniversary. Like trauma had a cake and candles. Sure. But keep it light. I'm grilling, not griping. She chuckled. Perfect. On site in 20. 20 minutes later, van doors slammed, lights glaring like interrogation. Elena, all sharp Bob and sharper questions, mic me up amid the smoke. Jake, from sledgehammer hero to H.O., a heartthrob. How's life post-Karen? Heartthrob? I snorted, spatula midair. Better. Shed's gone, scars are fading. We've turned the space into something real, a hangout, not a handout. Cut to B-roll, kids on the path, seniors on benches, the before and after split screen. I kept it clean, no jabs, just growth. Folks like Karen, they push us. Made me fight for what's mine, yeah, but also build better. Air mid-June, ratings gold. The segment aired that night. Suburban Saga update. Revenge to renewal. Clips went nuts. Reddit upvoting my Zen master vibe. TikToks syncing my grill flip to empowerment anthems. Offers trickled. Guest spots on local pods. Even a book agent sniffing memoir potential. Shed justice. How one lawn saved a life. Tempting, but nah. My story's no bestseller. It's a cautionary compile. Work ramped back full throttle. Startups app launched to fanfare. Delta's check clearing with 6 zeros. I coded late, fueled by ramen and redemption. The Office was a validation hum. Colleague congrats felt genuine now. The whispers archived like bad beta tests. But peace? Fleeting as a pull request. Late July, package on my porch. No sender, just a plain box rattling like loose screws. Inside, splintered plywood chunks from the shed, wrapped in bubble wrap. Note taped crisp. Build something worthwhile. K. No trace. Dropped anonymous. Postmarked Chattanooga. Mind raced. Her in turn? A neighbor's prank? Or Karen? Ghosting grace notes from her diminished domain? I stared at the shards, fingers tracing nail holes, the wood's grain whispering what-ifs. Burn it? Frame it? Donate to art therapy? I chose option D, none. Tossed it in the bin, wheeled to curb with a clang that echoed finality. But sleep? Elusive. Dreams looped. Her hollow eyes, my sledgehammer swing. Wildflowers wilting under frost. August brought heat waves and plot twists. HOA picnic, same spot, now blooming benches when Gus bolted, yipping a shadow by the oaks. Tim chased, me trailing, until we cornered. Her, Karen Voss, incognito in oversized shades and a sun hat that screamed disguise fail, kneeling by a flower bed, trowel in hand. Planting perennials, she said, not looking up, voice stripped of CEO silk. Anonymously, figured the haven needed hardy stock. Tim froze. I wave him off. Go play cornhole, man. Alone, I crouched dirt-cool under palms. Perennials? Or penance? She paused, trowel hovering. Call it closure. Lost the firm. Investors bolted after the publicity. Penthouse gone, pride in tatters. Therapy's a bitch. Says I bulldozed boundaries cause mine got bulldozed young. Overshare. Vulnerability, raw as rare steak. I nodded. No pity. Sympathies earned. That was my line, Karen. You crossed it. Hard. Know that now. She patted soil, hands smudged like a real gardener. Your segment? Watched it. Renewal. Wish I could code that. Code. Common ground, glitchy but there. Open source life's messy. Bugs in everyone. She stood, dusting knees, shades slipping to reveal eyes less hollow, guarded but green. Truce. No more trolls, no more threats. Just neighbors from afar. Truce. The word hung, fragile as first bloom. I extended a hand, callous from hammers and keyboards. From afar works. And the wood? That you. A ghost smile. Guilty. Thought it'd. I don't know, sparked something. Sparked a bonfire in my dreams. We chuckled, awkward as beta users. She nodded farewell, vanishing into the heat shimmer, hat bobbing like a white flag. Tim cornered me later, burger and fist. The hell? You're cool with that? Cool? Nah. Cautious. But inside, circuits fired. Was this Redemption's debug, or her latest loop? Fall foliage framed uneasy equilibrium. No more packages, no pings, radio silence, golden. My novel progressed. Chapters on code and cul-de-sacs. Therapy speak, threading the narrative. Podcast gigs, paid residuals. I bank him for that food truck, bite and brisket, slinging algorithms with Alabama white sauce. Thanksgiving loomed, solo spread on the horizon. Turkey thawing, Netflix queued. Then, invite pinged. Mike's Mega Potluck, HOA Harmony theme. I debated, bourbon whispering stay in, but wildflowers tugged, growth demands gathering. The night was Norman Rockwell on steroids. Turkey carved tableside, kids in pilgrim hats, playlist shuffling from Outkast to Otis Redding. I nursed a sweet tea, chatting quantum with Tim's engineer bro, when the door cracked. Karen again. No hat, just jeans and a sweater soft as surrender, pie and oven mid-hands. Chocolate chess, she said to the room, voice steady. Family recipe. If. Welcome. Murmurs, then Mrs. Hargrove's bless you trill. Land sakes, dear. Set it down. We've missed your Moxie. Moxie, the icebreaker. She circulated, tentative, handshakes with flippers, laughs with the young moms. Me? I hung back, observing like a QA tester, scanning for glitches. Eventually, Orbits pulled us porch side, air crisp with leaf smoke. Therapy homework, she admitted, pie plate empty between us. Make amends. Not easy for a bulldozer. Amends accepted. Half true, scars itch but faded. Truck opening spring, want beta brisket? Her laugh, genuine this time, no glass shards. Deal. If you try my VC pitch, post-fail version. Post-fail. We clinked imaginaries, stars pricking the velvet sky. Betrayals echo, distant like dial-up screech in the fiber age. But bitter ends linger, don't they? Weeks later, news alert. Voss Ventures folds, Karen listed as consulting independently. No schadenfreude this round, just a quiet email from me. Her the news. Coffee on me, neutral ground? Reply. Rain check. Building from scratch, perennials take time. Time. The ultimate compiler. Willow Creek spun on. Bonfires, block parties, Gus grown gangly. My truck smoked its first ribs, line out the door, code cracking sauce a hit. Life's not linear. It's iterative, bugs and all. Karen? A footnote, fading font. Or maybe, just maybe, a co-author in the debug. Bite and brisket launched under a Carolina blue sky. April's promise thick in the air. Smoke curling from my custom smoker like dragon's breath. The lot off Peachtree, buzzing with early birds and influencers chasing that perfect flat lay. I'd sunk half the settlement into this beast. Matte black trailer hitched to my F-150. Chalkboard menu scrawling, AI-injected Q. Because algorithms smoke better. First day's haul? Sold out by 2 p.m. Elbows and grins elbowing for the last pulled pork slider. Tim manned the line, hollering orders. Mrs. Hargrove quilted aprons for the crew. Even Mike flipped spatulas, his HOA-approved rubs a running gag. Exhaustion hit sweet that night. Muscles aching like post-marathon glow, tiller in the tiller. Stacks of cash in the safe. Reviews pinging 5 stars. Tech twist on tradition. Genius. Willow Creek felt worlds away. My anchor now, this rolling feast. Gigs booked from farmers markets to tech conferences. The novel? Query letters out. Agent bites pending. Life compiling. No fatal errors. Karen's rain check lingered, a loose thread in my mental Git repo. No follow-ups, no sightings, just that pie plate piece, fragile but holding. I let it be. Some commits don't need merging. May bloomed chaotic. Food truck fest in Piedmont Park. Rain threatening, but holding off, my pits groaning under oak shade. Crowd swelled. Hipsters and wayfarers, families with coolers, a bachelorette brigade chanting for brisket bombs. I'm elbow deep in slaw when a voice cuts through. Make mine extra algo, spicy override. I look up, and there she is. Karen, no shades, hair loose in waves that catch the light, cargo shorts, and a tee screaming weekend warrior. Worlds from penthouse polish. Solo, no entourage, tray balance precarious. Override? Coming up. I played it quick, heart doing that unnecessary stutter. How's scratch building? She samples a bite, eyes widening genuine. Slow. Consulting gigs, small fish but mine. Therapies. Unpacking. Your truck? This is you, Harlan. Coded chaos, serve hot. Chaos. Apartment. We chatted grease-smeared. Her spilling on freelance fails. Pitched AI ethics to a room of crypto bros. Crickets. Me venting fest logistics. Permits worse than HOA votes. No grudges surfaced. Just the easy rhythm of survivors swapping war stories. Rain check. I ventured, wiping hands on a rag. Neutral ground. Piedmont's got benches. She nods, mouth full. Tomorrow? Noon. Bring the sauce recipe. No peeking at the source. Source code. Our lingua franca. We parted laughs. Her fading into the throng. A ghost turned guest. Piedmont Park next day. Dog walkers dodging frisbees, skyline teeth, gnashing clouds. I packed a thermos, saw-spike tea, sweet as Georgia ice, and found her on a bench by the lagoon, sketchpad open, doodling what looked like shed blueprints deconstructed. Reimagining. I slid beside, pouring cups. Evolving. She flipped pages. Modular designs. Pop-up hubs for co-working nomads. No encroachments. Consent clauses in fine print. Progress. We sipped, ducks quacking commentary. Talk flowed deep. Her daddy issues, railroad exec. Boundaries were boxcars. My divorce debug, she coded out. I couldn't fork the repo. Vulnerabilities viral. Soon, tears pricked. Not bitter, but breakthrough. You're why I stopped bulldozing, she said, voice soft as duck down. That gavel? Mirror. Saw my mess reflected. Mirror. My turn. And you? Made me swing back, literally. Built this life from the splinters. Splinters to sustenance. We walked the paths, her arm brushing accidental, sparks not spite. By fountains missed, it slipped. Date? Not amends, actual. Her pause, then grin. Override accepted. But if it glitches, we debug over brisket. Date 1. Hole in the wall, tie on ponce. Poetic full circle. Noodles tangled like our timelines. Laughs over her firm's fold. The CC audit? Like colonoscopy for core. No she shed shadows, just shared space. Earned. Summer sizzled, dates stacking like logs. Braves game, she heckled umps with CEO precision. Kayaking Chattahoochee, me capsizing, her hauling like a lifeline. Willow Creek whispers? Minimal. Tim's thumbs up, Mrs. Hargrove's winks. My crew? Clueless, till a truck side sighting. Her fetching napkins, banter public. Fall's first chill brought the ask. Thanksgiving? My spread solo, room for two. She hesitated, pie recipe in mind. Your haven? Bold. But yeah, family's earned. Thanksgiving. My kitchen a war zone of yams and yeast, her arriving arms full. Chess pie steaming. Vintage apron-tied Johnny. We cooked Collard Symphony. Greens simmering low, turkey basted golden. Table set simple. Porch view, candles flickering like fireflies. Carving, she quipped. No encroachments on the wishbone? I snapped at her way. Build your empire. Grace said joint. Gratitude for glitches, growth from grudges. Turkey yielded to pie. Stories to silences comfortable. Post-feast walk, leaves crunching, her hand found mine. Intentional, interlaced. Winter whispered courtships. Tree trimming tango, lights tangled, laughs untangled. New Year's Eve at a rooftop bar. Midnight kiss tasting of champagne and second chances. Spring 2026. Truck tour hit stride. Her sketches evolving to startup. ModSpace, consent first coworks. I beta test. Code her app. Boundary bots. User-voted builds. Willow Creek. Our lab. Easement hosts pop-up trials. Neighbors nodding approval. One night, post-trial, porch beers under stars. Betrayal to this. I muse, her head on shoulder. Bittersweet compile. She tilts. Bitter? Nah, just the roux thickens the sauce. Sauce. Life's secret. Stir the splinters, simmer slow. Karen Voss. No more villain, but vector. Velocity toward velocity shared. And me? Jake Harlan. Avenger archived. Architect anew. Shed's ghost. Bonfire fodder long burned. What's left? Wildflowers, wilder rides, a narrative forked fresh. No one's bitter, just beginnings bold.